we are watching. I have no fucking clue what this is. Sean is our
I
expert
will.
here.
Well, I will give an intro to the channel.
Yep.
So we are going to live react to, if I can fucking get in there. Why can't I get in? Please watch.
You gotta huck to it.
Thank you.
Don't.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, we're gonna huck to all over Clownfish TV's video. So Clownfish covers pop culture and stuff. They're a commentating channel, big D&D fans, and so they're very they're they're basically neutral in like culture stuff. Like they don't try to pick sides. They just try to be objective, which is why I like their videos. But more specifically, they are D&D fans and they hate basically what Wizard of the Coast has done. And I'm assuming by the title of this video, they are calling out Critical Role, a prominent Dungeons and Dragons YouTube channel, for being massive hypocrites. And so we are going to start playing, and our two resident D&D guys are going to give us the context to this gay, nerdy shit.
Yeah. So at any point, guys, tell me when to pause. All right. So I will start it right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. We're going to talk about tabletop games. We're going to talk about Critical Role, their new system, Dagger Heart, right? And we're going to talk about controversy. Apparently, they have their own version of the OGL, right? A gaming license that lets you create your own content. And people are looking at it now, and they're saying that
All right,
really
pause it for a
is
second,
just
Jacob.
Wizards.
We gotta pause this in between to avoid copyright and just be polite. Oh yeah, and
Oh, you're fucking
like
right.
and subscribe Clownfish's YouTube and Rumble channel.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
will put the links in the video description of this.
Also,
So-
don't forget to like and subscribe to us, please.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
While
we're good.
you're feeling generous,
Yeah.
like and subscribe for more rage bait.
Yeah, that was fucking. Oh, that was a charm.
Yeah. So
was the
Sean, if
first
you could
30
just
minutes.
tell us what an OGL is.
Yeah.
That would be the Open Gaming License. Well, Open Game License. Basically, it's a public copyright license that pretty much allows you, as a fan, to create your own content for a game. Sometimes these open licenses allow you to do whatever, like the original Wizards of the Coast contract before they tried to do something really scummy, or sometimes they're a lot less open-ended, where they only let you do minor, like, little things, and if you try and monetize this they can sue you for it. But sometimes they let you do it, and you can keep your money. But open game licenses can be changed, and when they are changed, it usually ends up with a lot of people getting angry because they can change it to say, "Oh, everything you've earned, all the money you've gained from these products you've made, well, from now on, any money you make from this point forward, you'll be giving half of it to us.
Oh.
This is
Okay.
non-negotiable."
All right. That's a good
Okay.
foundation. Good to go.
Yep.
Wizards of the Coast, OGL 1.1 all over again. So Critical Role broke ties with D&D, basically. They went out and they created their own, or at least slapped their name on another system. And now they're doing the same thing that drove so many people away from Dungeons and Dragons in the first place.
Dun dun dun.
Allegedly, apparently. So we're going to take a look
Pause.
at this.
Yep.
We were just hitting that threshold.
Oh, yes, you're right. Of course.
Not only that, no, more importantly, what he just said is exactly what I was talking about. And that's something I want to bring up as well. It's something that drove Critical Role away from D&D, was D&D changing their OGL.
Oh, so they. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's
Critical
both ways.
Role is the Logan.
So Critical Role, from
Stream.
what this YouTuber is saying, Clownfish here, from what he is saying, I'm gathering that Critical Role went, "Damn, screw you, Dungeons and Dragons. We hate you, OGL. By the way, you guys should all come out check out Daggerfall, where we get to Daggerheart, where we get to take your money as well. Fuck you, audience."
Okay, so literally trying to convert people over. I see.
We're gonna do the exact same thing the company that we didn't want to play with anymore did.
It's almost like we're a business.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna make some. Anyways, continuing.
Document. And I got to give a huge hat tip to GPA, who sent this my way, and absolutely positively Dungeons and Discourse, who covered it first. I think they looked into it, and actually read through the document, and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, huge red flags here." So we're going to take a look at it. But yeah, definitely check out their channel. Actually, I believe they're one of the best D&D channels left out there. I mean, they're kind of like aren't as many as there used to be, but definitely check out their original video. We're going to take a look at it. Before we get into it any further,
All right, so I have a question real quick. Sean, does this affect you in any way? Like, I don't fully understand still. Is this bad or good, or does this mean anything in terms of your D&D sessions?
Well, no, he doesn't use Daggerheart.
Okay.
I don't use Daggerheart, and I don't use Dungeons and Dragons that much anymore. I'm usually using Genesis because thank you, Fantasy Flight Games, for just letting anyone do whatever the fuck they want to your system. Thank you
Mm,
so much.
okay.
Don't be evil.
Ah,
Don't be asshole.
okay. I see. Saying it's
I
stupid
would just
short.
like to point
Yeah.
one thing out before we continue on.
Yep.
Bard, greatest class.
You've told us about bards. Oh yeah,
Greatest class.
I know about your bards.
They're
Not
probably
in
like,
Genesis.
for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. This video brought to you in part by Bad Orcs. Orcs are a-holes. Badorcs.com. Badorcs.com. We're selling
I
some
play an
orc
orc, by the way.
pins.
Just
Another
throwing that
pin
out
set. I like making pins. It's a lot of fun.
Orc
Check
warrior
it out.
represent.
Badorcs.com. There we go. So yeah, again, this the original video came from Dungeons and Discourse. We're gonna take a look.
Oh.
Holy shit! Sorry, I just realized there's a lot of levels here. We are reacting to a reaction.
Man. Yeah,
Yep.
hold up. What's going on here?
This is levels.
What have you set us up with here, Dustin? Justin, what have you set us up with?
Make it so.
Make
Oh.
it so. Should I continue?
Cool.
That's a Star Trek reference.
Wow. I don't fucking know Star Trek, you fucking nerd.
Okay, just a heads up, Justin. But basically, in 5th edition, if that is what we were to play and you wanted to be a orc, you would essentially be a Mexican in current day America.
What the fuck?
Si, senor.
With
Si,
Cease,
senor.
yeah, you're fucking in that role. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Not
Beside me
not
for
the
nice. Beside me for
not
nice.
the classical orc that you think that they would be.
Wow.
They are basically Mexicans in America today.
I don't want to be a Mexican American.
They're not evil.
That's right.
Orcs aren't evil. They're just misunderstood.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Which one? So does that make Wizards Ice then?
No. Just orcs, even though they were traditionally evil and corrupted by whoever was the most powerful, today they are Mexicans.
We'll find
Awesome.
out whatever the hell
Well,
that
I'll get
means.
I'll get a sombrero and some
Yeah.
tortilla chips.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Oh,
Yeah, I will. What's the follow up?
I'm just pointing it out.
No, I'm talking to I will over here. Follow up, Cuck. Go.
Don't fuck.
Fucking joke.
This is
Yeah,
too
you
much
will.
pressure.
You'll
We're
get
continu-
those
We're
tortilla
off
chips.
topic. We're off topic. Continuing the video.
I'm totally gonna make an innuendo right now and fail at it.
Oh.
Yeah, because my fruit's the cuck fruit. Yeah,
Ha!
fucking
Oh,
beast loving it.
you didn't just say
Cuck,
that. That's fucking.
Gatorade snack.
Holy shit.
There you go.
Oh. Oh, your crash out, by the way, is going on YouTube. Anyways.
That's because I possess the rage fruit.
Yeah, you do.
I embrace my Scottish ancestry.
Yeah, you do. Oh.
Should have seen my fucking veins; they were bulging.
Holy shit. Yeah, Keith is just devious over there.
I look like a fat bald man, fucking spurting.
I don't need that description. Wow.
You got a skirt on with that also?
Yeah.
No,
You got that kilt
I
on?
didn't need one.
A
No,
Mexican,
I was
Mexican,
going to the moon.
Mexican wearing a kilt. Holy. All right, continuing.
Feliz
A
Navidad.
mech guilt.
Look at this document from Darrington Press. Is that the name of their company? Darrington Press Community Gaming License.
Yep,
So
Darrington
what
Press.
these gaming
Okay.
licenses do is they basically give you the right to, I believe, create your own offshoots or supplements or whatever source books that use their rules, but it's your own stuff, right? And a lot of times you're allowed to sell that stuff as long as you're not copying certain content that they don't want you to, that they will not let.
So is Darrington, that's something you knew, Sean? Like, is that like that's I have no
So
fucking.
Darrington Press, that's Critical Role. That's them.
Oh, okay,
This is
gotcha.
the
Okay.
yeah. Darrington Press is the pretty much the company name for like them making the OGL, for them making Daggerheart. Critical Role is like the title that we're calling Critical Role is the YouTube channel that uploads the videos, but
Ah,
Darrington Press is the name of the company attached to them.
okay, gotcha. All right.
You can't just like copy their rules and throw it into your own book and say, here's a complete game in a box, with all their rules or whatever. That's not going to happen. You have to buy their rule books. But you can sell supplements or adventures, modules, that sort of thing. And that is a big part of why D&D has lasted as long as it has, is that they had this open game license, which allowed for creators and game designers to create all kinds of supplements, third-party supplements for Dungeons and Dragons for years.
Okay. I think
Nope.
I'm understanding where we're going with this. Okay.
Now, when TSR owned Dungeons and Dragons, so before Wizards of the Coast, I'm almost 100% positive things like this were allowed, right?
Right.
So the community would be like, "Oh, we want to see this," or "Oh, we want to see that," and they would say, "Well, we're not planning on that. We're not going in that direction right now." Da 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 da. Community would get together and literally create what was being asked for,
Yep.
right?
That makes sense.
So this would have
So
heavily impacted that.
let me expand on that, Keith.
Yeah, sure.
The reason why the whole debacle last year that happened with D&D and the OGL was because Wizards was taking the TSR OGL and replacing it with their own that was going to pretty much say any fan made content made from this point onward and made in the past can be
Oh.
charged.
Oh.
Can, not will be,
Whoa.
can be charged.
Oh, wow.
Their whole
Yeah.
point being that they can, at any point, take ownership over your creation,
Yep.
which is what pissed off so many people.
Okay, I'm getting some more
So
now.
many people.
I understand where we're going with this.
Because it's getting late. Let's do me a favor,
Mhm.
because this is important. Because we don't want to watch the whole video. Like it's like a 16-minute video.
Yeah.
We don't want to watch the whole thing.
me to go
That
somewhere.
bore the shit out of people. Go to about 13 minutes and 14 seconds. That's the real meat and potatoes of like what they're doing.
Okay.
Gets described around there.
Under the terms of the license that was in place prior. Okay, so that's good. So if you're like, okay, we started working on this, 6 months or a year ago, when it was the terms were this, but now the terms are this, they'll let you be beholden to the old terms.
Grandfathered.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
I think that's what they're saying. Prior license will continue to cover such existing adaptive content. However, you agree that any modified versions of existing adaptive content or derivative work will be subject to the amended license, and your use of any new adaptive content after the effective date of any amended license shall automatically be deemed to be an agreement by you to the terms and conditions of the amended license with respect to any exploitation by you of the new adaptive content.
So is that what you were saying, Sean?
Okay. What that means. Play it. Just play it a bit more. Actually, just want to hear what his thoughts are.
Yeah. Keep
Okay.
playing it.
Wow. Yeah, this is like pretty like, and this is name mark
See if I
list.
can say anything.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
He
I don't know,
nails it.
guys. I would be concerned about this. I mean, you're basically. I mean, I understand. Again, I understand why they're doing it, but this basically gives them carte blanche to steal your shit even if they just change it enough. Like I said, you come up with a
There
new
it is.
race, you come up with a new class.
What was there? It is.
He just said it. They're basically it's the same thing Nintendo did with the new Switch 2. I know we're bringing it back to Nintendo,
That's a good.
where
Yep.
they said license you your hardware is now considered a license,
Yes.
and they can pick your system. And
Yes.
that's what they're saying
They.
here is that
I noticed
you
that.
make something new, or anything with our system, and we basically own it.
Yep. I'm not sure if this is the same line of stuff, but I think it
Okay.
is. On my Switch now, I noticed all my games are considered virtual game cards now, and it's the same thing that
Yes, they
Steam
are.
did too. You don't own the game anymore; you only own the rights to play the game. They changed the
Right.
technicality.
What you always did with physicals technically, you never owned the software that was on the discs. That was always licensed. It was intellectual property.
Right.
So you could never make copies of it and sell it.
Yeah.
That would be copyright infringement.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
you owned the disc. So you would so basically as long as you owned a physical copy of the game, you had an infinite license to use the product,
Okay. Yep.
which is why they all went digital to and this is why I hate that Gen Z have gotten suckered into this digital fucking landscape where everything's convenient and they don't want physical copies, because basically now it can just be taken from you because you're just giving a license and you don't have the media. When you had the media, they
Ah,
just couldn't take it from
yeah.
Yep.
like
Okay.
You're
I
right.
I could make copies of my Nintendo games right now, my Switch 1 games, if I had the technology and the will. I could make flash copies of them and never touch my originals. And
Right.
there's nothing Nintendo could do to me, because if they tried to sue me for a copyright infringement, I own the original game and go, no, I own the license to this product and I'm
Right.
making backup.
Wow.
But that's why they got rid of that. And that's why they did the digital key thing. They make you
Okay.
think that you have a physical copy of the game, but you don't. Okay.
Okay. That
And that's
feels.
basically what they're saying here. And I'm gonna let Sean and Keith jump in with their thoughts, because this is their nerdy shit. Um, basically, if I create Keith in their system, the troll baiting troll. If I create the
Yeah.
rage baiting troll
Yeah.
in their system and I name him Keith, they basically get to keep it. That's what they're saying. They own it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
I don't own it.
Mhm.
Wow. So,
100% correct and accurate.
so how do you, so Sean,
I'm gonna point this out. I didn't hear that be said, but I'm gonna check something real quick. Daggerheart OGL, Section 5. You hereby waive and release and all claims, demands, or causes of any action that you may now have or may have in future against DRP or of infringement, misappropriation, other. Okay.
That's what that means. It's legalese for we're gonna
Require
sue you.
licensed.
huh? Yeah, that could really,
Yep.
that
Okay,
would piss.
so that little section that he read at the end, that part that you heard, that I was like, I thought that part was what he was talking about was bad at first. The reason why I wasn't that concerned when he starts explaining, and I said, let's hear his thoughts are first. That part was essentially saying, um, any problems that your game has, like if we have any problems with you, but you made it in a prior edition to this OGL, then you are being grandfathered into that OGL, not any new OGLs we make in the future. But
Oh,
if you are making a book, if you are making a book that you are updating regularly and adding new content to, it's an adaptive book. It's something that you're
yep,
continually
yep.
working
I
on,
understand.
and it's under the OGL license. When you make something and it's grandfathered by the old OGL, but if you update it at any point, you are now under the effects of the new OGL,
Yep,
even if the rest of the book was prior to that OGL.
yep.
That's what he was saying earlier. But with Section 5, what I'm reading, do you hereby waive all release claims, blah, 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 blah. That is essentially, at the end of the day, you made this. This is you. But at any moment, we can say, no, this is the community's, this is ours.
Right.
Yep.
Wow. Holy, that's allowed? They were allowed to do this? This is legal?
It's
It
the open game license. Yes,
Yeah.
they
yeah.
can, as long as it's
It's
under the title of Daggerheart.
Yeah.
yeah. It's their business, right?
Yeah.
Justin's right. It's They're
Yep.
in business. They want to make
The,
money.
the issue. So I'm the local legal expert.
Yeah.
So basically, so how it works is that okay? So like the thing with contracts is that if it's illegal, it's void. But you have to go to a court and prove that it's illegal first and foremost. And most people, the reality of court cases are they're very expensive, especially in the United States, but even in Canada. You don't most people like Sean, me, you, we don't have the money to go and fight them in court to contest their contract. We just don't have the money. Therefore, we can't put it in front of a judge to even contest the contract. So they win by default. It's how Disney and it's how big companies roll. They they people go, well, they're doing illegal shit. We should stop them. But the problem is that they'll tie you up for 10 years, years and years and years and years in legal fees. They just drown you until you have to withdraw your law. And it's why people say the system is rigged against people, the average person, because it is. It's not that you don't have the opportunity. That's the catch 22. You have the right and the opportunity to take them to court, but can you
You don't have
afford
the money
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah. Can you exactly? Can you fight against that big of a
right?
yeah, a lawsuit? Same with Pokemon against Power World. It's like how the hell is Power World gonna fight Pokemon? You know?
Because
But not.
they're fighting them because they happen to partner with Sony. So Sony bought them.
Okay, so they do have money behind them. Okay,
Well, right.
yeah.
So plus all the
Now,
money that game.
it did blow up. Yeah,
Well, the game cost like let's say 10 million to make, and they made like 500 million.
yeah,
So that's all profit. Like
yeah,
they fucking went to the moon.
yeah.
But really, what this battle is Power World. It's really Sony versus Nintendo. That's what it is. It's Nintendo and Sony once again clashing.
Yeah. Wow. Holy shit. Stuff's going down in the world. I didn't know about all this. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want me to continue, or was that like is that the meat and
Oh, that's it.
potatoes? Okay.
That's basically it.
Awesome.
They're basically doing what Wizards. They're basically hypocrites. That's what they are. They're doing exactly what they condemned Wizards of the Coast for doing.
Yep. Wow. Well,
With bozos.
that was really interesting. Um, I want to thank everyone for coming to this episode of Shitcast. Uh,
Yeah.
I want to also thank specifically Justin and Keith. I know you guys had a big disagreement there, and I know Keith was probably partially trolling, partially doesn't quite know what he's talking about, but maybe he does know what he's talking about. Either way, thank you guys for not just crashing out and leaving. I was really scared that was going to happen. I was really scared. Specifically, Justin, thank you. I'm glad that you didn't leave. I was scared that you were going to leave and just quit. So
I almost broke the headset, but
yeah.
yeah,
I did you slam your desk at one point, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Don't
Yeah.
worry, Justin. If you do, I've got the cat ears for you.
Oh yeah. He's got those cat ears.
They're
Oh,
still in the box.
yeah.
yeah.
All
I
right.
think I'm gonna go buy a WoW headset.
Oh wow.
hold up.
Sean?
Hold up. DRP does not intend to copy or infringe upon any adapt.
I figured you're gonna find some fucking loophole here. Watch this. This is
Oh,
it. This is how we go famous. He's gonna find
is
some
my love.
fucking.
By you.
He's gonna
However,
find.
I love.
Oh.
The
DRP
It's
may
autism.
available
Oh.
published materials are similar to adaptive content created
Similar?
by third party. Okay.
Here we go.
All right, I found the wording that everyone's been talking about. Okay, so I don't know, we must have skipped it in the video,
We
but
did.
the wording here that is specifically stated here is they're not stealing in the sense of they're gonna pretty much copyright claim your creation, or they're gonna copyright grab like Wizards of the Coast is. Theirs is more so if we accidentally release a future book that has very similar like races and very similar creations to what your fan made content is. Oh well.
Just similar? I'm sorry, just similar? It just has to be similar? Like not
What?
even like
No.
Right,
What
right.
what it pretty much states here is, say you are making your own Daggerheart story, and
okay.
you create this race called the Flibbernecks. All right, and they have these like really cool telekinetic powers as a race.
Hmm.
But then Daggerheart officially comes out of a race called the Flobanox
Oh,
that are a telekinetic race.
no fucking way. So they can be scummy like that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but they can be scummy
It's
in the
written
other
into
aspect
here.
too, of stealing your shit.
DRP does
Yeah.
not intend to copy or infringe upon any adaptive content created by you. However,
Oh.
because of the possibility that DRP may independently develop or publish material that is similar to adaptive content created by third parties, in exchange for allowing you to exercise the license rights within the amount of documents, you hereby waive and release any and all claims, demands, causes, or action that you may now have or may in the future have against DRP for infringement, misappropriation, or other violations of rights in or to any adaptive content, except to the extent that DRP has copied such adaptive content in its entirety without modification, which they're going to modify. You're not going to have the exact written.
When any time that you come up with an idea or something while you're working for the business, it's not your intellectual property, it's the property of the business. You cannot claim copyright or property infringement. That's what they're basically saying. Basically the meat and potatoes of it is that if you create something with their IP and they steal it from you, you can't sue them for copyright infringement. They're just going to steal your shit.
Okay.
It all boils down to they're just going to steal your shit. That's the layman caveman term. Because if you create something similar with their thing, they're basically going to say, well, it's their IP anyway because you used their model. If you try to use that IP in any kind of business or something, going to possibly they can whether they choose, it's more about, even if they don't choose to do something, they have the option of doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Nope, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm
And I have
gonna
it on stream now for you guys to be able to read.
Yeah, I'm already looking at it right now. So people
and
will be able
that's
to see it.
yeah, that's basically all they're saying. It's just fancy words for basically we're gonna steal your shit, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why at the end of the video he just basically said they're gonna steal your shit, because that like, no matter the fancy word terms, it's just a circle jerk for we're gonna steal your shit,
Hmm.
basically.
Yep.
And I'm gonna close with one interesting fact about Nintendo. One more. When they sued Pal World, and even when they sued, because we all know about Gary Bowser, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another, like, yeah. So when they tried to sue Gary Bowser, and when they tried to even sue Pal World, they tried to go to PlayStation and Xbox and get them on the suit.
Hmm.
And both PlayStation and Xbox told them basically to go fuck themselves. They didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Big wins for Xbox and PlayStation. So make sure you buy yourself a new PlayStation 5 Pro.
That's how you're ending? That's it? It was a
Yeah,
PlayStation plug. That
It's a
makes
yeah,
sense.
promotion.
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck.
Awesome.
We're not fucking
Awesome.
getting paid
Awesome.
by them. Wow.
Hey, hey,
Super proud of you.
hey, I'm still reading the contract. I'm still reading the OGL. Give me a second.
Yep.
You agree that DRP has the right to develop, acquire, license, sell, exploit, and share material, products, and content that
Wow.
are substantially similar to or otherwise complete with your adaptive content, provided, however, that DRP agrees it will not identically copy your adaptive content.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's taking your intellectual stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Develop, acquire,
Yep.
license, sell, exploit, and share materials. Yeah.
yeah.
Products and content. Yeah.
And
Quite literally everything.